Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I want to talk to you about something that's been on my mind for a while, and that is weather modification. You know, I believe with all my heart and soul that our government and the governments of our world are modifying the weather. The other day I seen this thing in the news where that China was taking rockets and shooting them up into the air to make it rain. Now, they let that out into the public, okay, that they were doing this. Now here in America, you don't ever hear much talk about it, okay? It's hush hush. What I'm about to show you here in a little bit, I took some footage the other day at random, and it was mind-blowing, and you'll see here in just a moment for yourself how many chemtrails were in the air. And shortly thereafter that, on a day that was supposed to be sunny with no rain, immediately about 3 to 4 hours later, it was clouded over and ready to get started pouring rain. That tells me that something is going on. Okay, you know, I remember in the 80s, I'll just say this real quick. You know, I remember when I was a kid, and you know, Cobra Commander was the only terrorist I knew in the world. He was the only terrorist I knew, period. And he built a weather modification thing, you know, and could modify the weather. And you know, if you were born in the 80s or you know were a little tot around that time, you know what I'm talking about. And it was the Weather Dominator. You know, and you could just do whatever you wanted with the weather with it. Well, you know, all this stuff, not only that, but retina scanners and all the other junk, just stuff like I've seen in DiAngelo when I was a kid 20 years ago. That stuff's a reality now. And it scares me that they can modify the weather like that, folks. Because I'm going to tell you, when you start trying to harness what the Most High has, that's dangerous business. And for us preppers, what really brought it to my attention and what I want to share with you is for those of us that's growing our own crops, I think it's very important that we move to greenhouse production or to, like I've shown previously, aquaponics indoors. I've got mine outdoors obviously right now, but I'm going to be building a shelter over it. But those heavy metals that they're spraying, I think it's beryllium and aluminum and stuff like that that they're spraying, that's heavy metals. And if we breathe that stuff in, that's got to be toxic. I mean, that has got to be toxic. And furthermore, that's got to be ridiculously hard to get out of our body. I mean, I'm sure there's a detox for it. And please, if you know information about that, you know, please post that in the comments below. But I really just wanted to point this out to everybody because I believe with all my heart and soul that this stuff's real. For a while, I've seen a lot of talk about it, you know, people posting things about it, but I've got my own footage of it now. And I mean, seen it take place right in front of me. And if you'll notice in the footage here in just a minute, there is a Wi-Fi tower just right over the hill, and they were spraying all that just nearby, you know. And I mean, this huge Wi-Fi transmitter tower up there. And Snowden, I know the government really wanted him and still wants him to prosecute him, but something was, you know, I can't confirm nor deny it, so I'm not going to really put it out there like it, you know, it's true. But apparently there was something written that Snowden said that if the government quit spraying the sky with this stuff, that in with I think it was like 6 months to a year, that you know crop production would just die in America. I mean, it'd just be dead because I mean there'd be like no trade winds, no nothing. You know, I mean apparently that they messed up our weather so badly with this stuff. So I mean, take a look at this video footage for yourself, and then I'll chat with you here in a minute. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, that was awfully weird. And I mean, I got on the weather thing that day, and it showed supposed to be sunny, perfect day. I mean, no rain, period. And, you know, that morning, beautiful skies, and then here's all these trails. And then the next thing that evening, it was clouded over. And I will say that after that mass spraying that went down that day, that ever since then, it's just been like fall weather ever since then. And I mean, yes, we are getting close to fall. You know, we're only a couple weeks out, really, in reality, to actually starting that transition. But I mean, it went from like hot, you know, scalding hot weather to like, whew, cold, you know, in the morning and at night. And that was right away. I mean, that was just one to another. And it's kind of held that way for a while now, just starting to break back to like it should be for a late summer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think as preppers, the main thing I'd want to get across in this video is that when it comes to food production, I've been a farmer all my life, and I've been growing my crops, you know, traditional, but I am going to move to greenhouse production and getting everything to aquaponics. I'm going to get away from having this stuff exposed to the chemicals and to the air out there, because I think it's poison. I mean, I think we're being poisoned. But do some research on this. You know, start working at all costs to get your crop production, everything moved indoors, because I just think that besides this and the 7 trumpets of Revelation that's about to take place, so much contamination that's going to be in there. We don't need to be having our food and our crops exposed to these things, let alone ourselves, as much as possible. So start researching this and start moving these things away from having to have it exposed to that, because you know this stuff's got to be raining down on us. And I hope this gets you more aware of this. And until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.